Hello, good people, and welcome to Hillbilly Cat History, where we explore the times, events, and people surrounding Elvis Presley. Thank you for choosing this video. In this episode, Gladys grows up. Here we can see the daughters of cotton sharecroppers from Mississippi. This would have been a lot like what Gladys and her sisters look like. On August 6, 1912, Bob's brother Hall and Mary's third son William Truett Smith was born in Moorville. William Alton Jack Mansell, first son of Sim and Pearl Mansell, was born on October 7, 1912, in Lee County, Mississippi. On October 3, 1914, Bob and Doll's third son, Travis James Woodrow Wilson Smith, was born. Elvis fans will remember Travis as a gate guard. Doris Louise Mansell Hall, daughter of Sim and Pearl Mansell, was born on February 20th, 1916, in Lee County, Mississippi. Doll's youngest brother, Jehu Mansell, married Dora Volna Allred in 1916. Their daughter, Nancy Mazel Mansell, was born on March 5th, 1917. Ann Smith in early 1917 with her 31-year-old son Johnny, 29-year-old daughter Tabby, 39-year-old son Bob, his 41-year-old wife Doll, and all of their children moved to the Wilburn farm in Gilbo, about 4 miles from Tupelo. Lillian vividly remembered for all of her life traveling to Gilbo in an open wagon and seeing a similar wagon going the opposite way carrying 20 children. Doll rode on the bed mattress in the back of the wagon, 3 months pregnant. The shack Bob and his family occupied was described by Mertice Finley, who lived as a young girl on the farm across the road, as the sorriest shack on the Wilburn farm. Bob's mother Ann, his brother Johnny, and sister Tabby lived in the shack next door. It is possible that this was the first time Bob, Doll, and their children had resided in a house all to themselves, with no extended family. At the Finley's farmhouse, the Smith children were, according to Mertice, strictly relegated to the kitchen, because her father could not bear the sight of the pitiful little things swarming around his dinner table. Their hungry faces upset him so. Mertice described 5-year-old Gladys by saying she was a sweet, chubby, attractive little thing. Gladys was fond of Mertice's mother, who Gladys often told she and her siblings were hungry. Mrs. Finley would reply by instructing Gladys to run home and fetch a bucket. When Gladys brought the bucket, Mertice's mother filled it with the Finleys' leftover scraps. Bob must have been having a difficult time feeding his invalid wife and 7 children, and there was already one more on the way. And up on the left, we can see a picture of a bucket, which would have been very similar to the bucket that Gladys fetched in order to get the scraps. On June 19th, 1917, Bob and Doll's 4th son, Tracy D. Smith, was born. Lillian, the eldest daughter, now 11 years old, was performing most of the active duties of being a mother, as Doll was not able to leave her bed for daily chores. Lillian washed dishes and clothes, swept floors, cleaned and supervised the younger children, and did all the things a mother with lots of small children needs to do every day. Lillian described Gladys at age 5. Inside, Gladys was very highly strung, very nervous, very scary. She was frightened by all kinds of things, by thunderstorms and wind. She was always hearing noises outside at night and imagining there was someone in the bushes. But she was stubborn, too. You couldn't make her do anything she didn't want to do. Headstrong, you could say she was. Bob became well known in the area for the excellent moonshine he could brew. Moonshining was illegal and could land a man in jail or fined or both, and Bob could afford neither. So he was careful to brew his batches in the hills, far away from inhabited areas. Corn, sorghum molasses, and brown sugar were the only required ingredients, but purchasing these items in bulk might tip off an astute merchant moonshining was about to take place. Skilled brewing and distillation resulted in a product of high alcoholic content, commonly referred to as moonshine or white lightning, which could be sold to recoup the cost of the ingredients and provide a tidy profit. And here I've linked to a documentary where Popcorn Sutton shows us how moonshine was made. He was one of the last guys that made moonshine the way Bob would have made it. And I believe Popcorn has passed away since this special was made, but it is an excellent documentary to show you exactly how hard it is to make moonshine. It's a lot of physical labor. It's probably harder than it was to grow and pick cotton. So this is a fantastic documentary to get the feel for what Bob was doing, up in the hills when he was moonshining. Bob befriended and taught a young man named Cully Mitchell, who lived in nearby Parkertown, the art of moonshining. Cully and his friends began brewing up batches, enjoying the shine and the profits. The next year, after Bob and his family moved to Moorville, 6 men were arrested on Cully's father-in-law's farm for moonshining, put on trial at the Lee County Courthouse in Tupelo, found guilty, and sentenced to a year in jail. Moonshining was more dangerous for the brewer than ever. Over on the right, we can see a picture of the Lee County Courthouse, and if you were to go to Tupelo today, you can see this courthouse. Vera Turner, Cully Mitchell's daughter, became friends with 5-year-old Gladys and described her by saying she had the sweetest disposition of all the Smith girls. And that's where we've got to leave them for today. 5-year-old Gladys and Vera Turner having fun. We know Elvis was a Christian. We know Elvis sang gospel music, but did you know Elvis always traveled with his favorite Bible in his black box carried by one of the Memphis Mafia? Have you ever wondered how many Bibles the greatest entertainer of all time owned and gifted to others? Check out Hillbilly Cat History's guest appearance on Those Elvis Girls channel on YouTube to learn more. In our next video, Gladys goes to school. Be sure to subscribe because you do not want to miss it. Thank you for joining Hillbilly Cat History as we explored this piece of the Elvis Presley puzzle. Stop on by anytime so we can chat again.